I've lately started to ask the homeowners questions. Why did you go with the Bosch IDS 2.1 inverter heat pump? Because you had plenty of choices. We could have went with a Carrier, we could have went with a Bosch, you could have went with the Carrier Infinity, but you went with the Bosch inverter heat pump. I gotta ask why. It's me, Mikey Pipes. Today we are taking out this 3-ton York, and you guys know those are notorious for leaks. A few years ago, we added about 4 pounds of R22 to the system. Guess what? She's now low again. Customer made the smart decision in replacing the equipment. And today, I'm going to show you the proper practices on replacing equipment for your central air conditioning systems. All the little details that you don't normally catch me do on video, I'm going to do on this video. Together, we'll make the trades great again, and using good installation techniques, we will ensure that we have a dependable and reliable system for our clients. Smash that thumbs up button in advance, guys. It's going to be fun. There's our unit. I have my recovery tank, recovery scale, my vacuum pump, my True Blue evacuation hoses. I only grabbed that because I wanted to grab my Schrader core removal tools that I'm going to use to pull out the Schrader out of both the low and high side, or the suction and the liquid lines. I'm going to hook these up to there, remove those Schrader cores, because if I keep them in there, we're going to prolong the recovery process. So let me show you how we do this. I remove the caps from the service port. I'm going to open my valve. I'm going to push in this plunger, counterclockwise orientation. There's going to come a point where it's going to want to spit out at me, like that, because that's that high pressure pushing out on that plunger. We're going to close the valve, and there is our Schrader core right there. This little doodad right here, these like to leak, similar to what you have on a car tire. It's very important that you put your caps back on, but that's your first line of defense against the leak. And if you're, see? Let's be honest, guys. How many of you caught my mistake? One of the reasons why my channel, in my opinion, has been so successful is that I keep it uncut, unedited, and raw. I brought out the vacuum pump instead of the recovery machine, and there it is. So let's purge the air out of there. Using my Testo 557 manifold that I exclusively use for R22, you should not mix test equipment that you're using. So if you have a set of gauges that you're using for R22 and R410, for example, that's bad professional practice. My charging hose hooked up to my recovery machine. I have everything open here. I'm gonna put this to recover. I'm gonna get some of that air out of there. So a lot of people don't know this, but marked on the recovery tank is the weight of the scale empty. Scale's at 0. And we're at 17.5. Okay, close, not perfect. We have a tare weight. That is the maximum capacity that this tank shall hold, if I'm not mistaken. You don't want to fill it more than, 20% to capacity. I generally like to put 20 pounds of refrigerant per tank. Let's say it has 450 PSI pressure in there. In a hot truck, the higher the temperature, the more pressure is going to build up. You don't want any issues, guys. So let's put our hose right on there. Right, just dry fit it on a little bit. We're gonna zero out our scale. I'm gonna open to recover, and we're gonna purge out the air from the high and low side through our manifold, through the charging hose, through the recovery machine, and through the recovery hose from the machine to our tank. I'm quite confident there. And now we're gonna start our recovery process. Both of my service valves, my king valves, are open. They're fully backseated, they're not closed. So I'm recovering all the refrigerant, not only in the condensing coil, but also the line set and the evaporator coil inside the air handler located in the attic. While I'm vacuuming or recovering the refrigerant, I went to my truck, I got my knee pads on, I got my gloves. Huge shout out to Bosch Thermal Technology, where today we're installing for this customer the Bosch IDS 2.1 connected IDS heat pump inverter system, air handler, outdoor condensing unit, our line sets, emergency drain pan, and we're also going to be using something for the first time on an installation, and that is we're going to be using the PrevClog condensate drain line treatment system. It is a thin little rope that has like copper particles inside of it, but if it's installed properly at the initial installation, the manufacturer guarantees you will not have a clog for not for 1 year, not for 2 years, not for 5 years, not for 10 years, but for 20 years. If you put this PrevClog system inside your 3/4 inch PVC drain line from the air handler to the outdoors, they will guarantee with a warranty that you will not have a clog for 20 years. What's better than that, guys? We recovered a total of 0.5 pounds. Not a lot to write home about, but it is what it is. It is also good practice to put a filter dryer on the line here going to the recovery machine. You'll protect the filters and screens inside your recovery machine, but you also will have a drier refrigerant. I don't have that on my little truck right there. Daniel does. Daniel unfortunately overslept this morning. At 7:30 in the morning, I'm like, yo, where's Daniel? And I check on my my GPS tracking system. I use GPS Track It. Link in the description box down below, and you can use gpstrackit.com/Mikey Pipes for a special offer off their services. Really cheap, and they also have dash cams, forward facing and cabin facing, for video and audio recording. So if you have a fleet of vehicles, or if it's just you and you want to have protection in case there are insurance con artists out there. They want to try to scam you, but if you got it on video, you're good. So I use GPS Track It. Not a paid endorsement, but I use their products and I like it, and I think you should too. I got my knee pads on. Let's go up to the air handler upstairs and start tearing that apart. There is the patient for the doctor. Ductwork is excessive flex, but for the most part, satisfactory. Taking out the air handler, taking out the line set, emergency drain pan, drain lines, adding a return plenum box here. Start by turning off the power to the unit. All right, I have my panels removed. I removed my blower. My line voltage is still connected. I'm gonna use my Fluke non-contact electrical tester just to get an audible warning when my breaker's off. So let's go head on down to the basement. I can probably hear this from the first floor. So maybe one of the occupants of the house will help. Maybe one of the kids, hire them, and maybe they'll help. So you hear that noise? That loud alarm sound? When that stops, you need to let me know. We'll let your brother know, and he's gonna let me know, okay? Gotta make sure I don't get electrocuted. All right, let's try air conditioner. Let's try Now it stopped? Excellent, thank you. All right, so audibly, we're good, but let's get our Fluke 902 FC multimeter from my Veto bag. Let's double check. Between L1 and L2, or line on my switch, I have no voltage. Then I'm gonna check the ground from each one. So L1 or L2 to a ground. Also reading nothing. So I've safely confirmed that the power is off to the system, and now I can proceed with removing the electrical. All right, I have my return duct removed. I have my supply duct removed. Daniel arrived, and now we're sucking the water out of the emergency drain pan. We were here a few days ago, I think on Monday or Tuesday, and for preventative maintenance on all three central air systems in the house. The first system, the second floor that we checked out, we had a bad capacitor blower motor. We had a clogged emergency drain line, and we had water in the emergency pan. As you can see, the attic is fairly insulated up here, so if it was a normal attic, that water would have long evaporated, but because of the attic insulation, it did not. So we're sucking that water out of the emergency drain pan, and then we'll get rid of the rest of the equipment. Performing and completing this installation is Daniel and I, just the two of us. Why did I give Peter 3 consecutive days off so he can go to a wedding? Can someone explain that to me? Peter, if you're watching, someone in Peter's family or if one of Peter's friends who's watching this right now, please, someone put in the description box down below, in the comment section down below, why is Peter gone for 5 days for, let's call it a 12-hour wedding. Let's say they're really gonna get plastered. It's crazy. All right, the air handler is up here. We're gonna put our emergency drain pan, the high-rise pan by Diversitech, right there where the old one was. We're gonna connect our supply plenum. We're gonna build our box. All right, our recovery process is complete. Let's take a look at how much we recovered. Hopefully it retained 0.6 pounds of our R22. Let's close our connection here. Let's close. There. We're not really gonna have anything there either. All right, those are empty. Okay, and when you're handling your hoses, avoid getting them in the dirt. Okay, now we're probably gonna have some refrigerant here, and that's just unavoidable. Okay, and one thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna purge out the machine. Let's put that to self-purge. Start that off. Let's do a quick little purge on there. And then we'll cap it off at our recovery machine. I am going to put together back air handler. Daniel was showing me the condensing coil. And it should be a good habit to close the king valves, because if you don't close the king valves and you go up and over, you get this. Uncut, unedited, raw oil from the compressor. You should get a garbage bag or a 5-gallon bucket with a scoop and just scoop that up, you know. All right, back at the circuit breaker panel. There's the one we turned off. I like to be better than the next guy. Label maker and labeled it, second floor AHU. Let's turn that breaker on and let's get some air movement. All right, I pulled my electric wire, which is right here, through to the 2-pole single throw switch. And I have a 5-conductor Wago wire for my red wire, which is 24 volts. My green is my fan. I got another 5-conductor Wago lever 221 for my common. And the other ones don't matter right now because there's no power there. Let's turn on our switch. I identified the breaker downstairs and I have that back on. When people like scoping, especially when they got the tinted windows, you think they're gonna be like stealing something from you in a little bit, you know? All right, you ready for the next length? See? 2 guys in the job and we're getting it done. I'm gonna give you the next length. Excellent. And we're gonna use the zoom lock to coupling them together. Smart? 5 minutes to 11, ladies and gentlemen. Here's our line set. I don't know if you see it. It's already connected to the air handler. Here's our end of our 3/4. But we're preparing to use a zoom lock. Emery paper, or what I refer to as scratchy paper. We are going to deburr the inside of this pipe. So during deburring the pipe, you don't want to point it up or on the side because then those little shavings are gonna get in there. We have our RLS zoom lock. We have the reducing coupling right on top of the Bosch IDS 2.1 connected pump inverter outdoor unit. Yep, very nice. Okay, let's press that in. And there it is. I put all my money in, bet on them. Good. It is 1:52. For the past 20 minutes, the other Mike, who's all the way over there, and I have been fishing. We're trying to fish this electrician's fish rope through 20 feet, excuse me, through 20 feet of 3/4 PVC drain piping to install this rope. And I gotta tell you, I don't think it's worth it. But let's see. Mike, you ready? Let's pull the string slowly. Yep. Okay. The Prev clog is going inside the 3/4 PVC. This stuff, which is embedded with some kind of minerals and metals, the main active ingredient, I believe, being copper. When you insert it through your condensate drain line from the evaporator to outdoors, it prevents all that sludge buildup and it eats away that sludge, and it's guaranteed to not clog for a period of 20 years. We have a total of 77 feet of line set. We have our filter dryer located inside. This is the bi-directional one, right? We went across here, across all the way down there, and down to the outdoor condensing unit. Mike is gonna take some extra of that string and shove it into that PVC pipe right there. And oh, Mike, you need an elbow.
I need an elbow, some glue.
Yep, I got you. All right, there is my 3/4 inch trap. I basically made a beeline all the way over there. We do have a 90 going out to that piece of, I think it's about 3 feet of 3/4, but it's a beeline. I don't mind it being that way. I have my emergency drain going out there. It's actually draining right above a window on the 2nd floor bedroom. So if you ever see any water dripping there, there's a problem. That means that float's failed. The Prev clog has failed. Everything has failed, and you might as well just prepare for a civil war, because at that point, we're all... There's the little string. As you can see, it goes all the way from the exterior, following roughly around 20 feet of 3/4 inch PVC into my clear trap, and then through my clear trap, and then back into the evaporator. I like that. It's good. One thing I wish it was better, is that it was easier to install. It comes in a nice little white box, or pail, depending on the length that you're buying. You can also buy pre-treated 3/4 inch PVC. Maybe that's easier, probably is, because this was not fun. This wasted 40 minutes with Prev Clog. But I guess, you know, if it really does work and it doesn't clog for 20 years, that 45 minutes that we wasted is much cheaper than, you know, water damage to the home. All right, we still have to run. I accidentally ran 5-wire to my thermostat. We have to run another wire, so we're gonna run another 2-wire to that because we're gonna have Y1, Y2, the OB wire. So we have 2-stage heat cooling, the heat pump functionality, and we still got to wire in the Rector Seal float switch off of the Goliath high-rise drain. All right, it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. 2:27. Take a look at this. You gotta love it when you see the original wallpaper from the 1920s on the wall. And there's wallpaper behind that too.
And there's wallpaper.
And there's other wallpaper on it too. We're preparing the wall for the new Bosch BCC 100. You're gonna see dinosaur skeletons soon. See, it has nice little, I don't know, squishy thing there. It keeps any drafts from buddies at Ream. Oh, man.
That stinks.
That sucks. Yeah. So you thought the wall is gone, right? The wall's gone right there. It's not going right here. And this is plaster, right? So watch what we do. I am gonna be like MacGyver. I'm gonna put a screw, and I am going to screw through the plastic back part of the base of the thermostat, and I'm gonna penetrate the plaster, and behind that plaster, we have that wood lath, and this screw is gonna get to that wood lath. I ran out of steam.
Oh, it sounds like you hit wood.
Mike's got
That's right.
Mike's got wood.
Who's your daddy? Smash that thermostat against that base plate like you're gonna smash the thumbs up button right now.
I actually have to smash it.
Don't pull off the wall too fast, because you don't want to lose the screws. Oh, is it hitting my little screw right there?
Oh, yeah, that is.
Oh no! Tell me it's not hitting the little. Is it?
Yeah. You could drill the thermostat.
No, just put a flathead in.
2 songs wrong.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Let me get the drill. It's hitting right there. All right, let's maneuver this.
No, it's not the ghost.
All right, we did a little modifications there. All right, want to turn the power on? Bosch Wi-Fi thermostat. Hashtag love Bosch. We're doing a heat pump. We're gonna set that up. We're gonna reversing valve energizing heat, correct? 1-stage electric, 2-stage heat pump. We have no accessory. It is 2:44 p.m. There we go. Unit configuration. Boom. All that's good. Review complete. Let's. Is everything powered on outside? There she is. She's running. One complaint that you're gonna get when you install the Bosch IDS 2.1 series, that they don't think it's on. It makes no noise. We're literally right in front of it, and she's making no noise. There's our nice line set. Comes up, across, up to the attic. Total of 77 feet of line set. And to finalize the job, we have our raised dome sticker for branding and identification purposes. We're proud of the installs that we do. And there's my sticker, 516-348-6300. We're based in Valley Stream, New York, soon to be Charleston, South Carolina, fourth quarter of 2023, Palm Beach County in Florida. And we're gonna put Peter in charge of Palm Beach. Oh, and we added surge protection. There it is, the Rector Seal, the RSH 50, right? Surge protector. Because you have that very expensive board inside there. But it's guaranteed for 10 years, so have no fear. Mikey Pipes is here. I've lately started to ask the homeowners questions. Why did you go with the Bosch IDS 2.1 inverter heat pump? Because you had plenty of choices. We could have went with a Carrier. We could have went with a Bosch. You could have went with the Carrier Infinity.
Bosch offers incredible value at an ultra-efficient variable speed technology and at comparable rates compared to the other units I've seen. The warranty's unmatchable, and you can't hear a sound from the unit.
And I get complaints like people say, it's not on. What's going on, Mike? Like, I spent all this money on this brand new system. I don't even hear it. I'm like, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's whisper quiet. You're more likely to hear traffic or airplanes in the sky than hear the inverter or the system running on this unit. And inside, just as quiet. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, be well, God bless, stay safe. Smash that thumbs up button and consider subscribing. There's no cost or obligation. Do it now.